We are back, guys, with another review reaction of the glorious Windbreaker, and of course, is season two. Um, and the last episode I did again, I was at Anime Expo, okay, and the when I did the reaction and then eventually upload by the time I came back home, um, and from that episode, episode 4, we had it where Sakura got sick. I compared it to the likes of like Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it was more something internal where they had to start questioning a lot of stuff about who they are and overall all the circumstances around them. In this case for Sakura, it was him realizing very slowly he's not alone and that he is starting to rely on people, but that was conflicting with what he was trying to stand for, because he felt like everything he had to do was on his own due to, personal reasons, things he had been dealt with earlier in his life. So having people care about him, wanting to understand him and not have a bias towards him for whatever reasons, whether because of how he looks, how he talks, what he does, it built confliction in him, hence why he got sick. And to still see people care about him and not judge him for any other reason. And then he went to go ask Kaji, what makes you strong? Like at that moment that happened at the warehouse versus I can never remember that group's name. To me at this point they're irrelevant. But when you jumped in or you didn't second guess, them helping you with your own teammates, having your back and all that stuff. And knowing Kaji was in the same position as Sakura at one point in his life, gave him really good advice in his own roundabout way. Of course, it was ruined by Umamiya and the other senior and everything. But it's understandable that, they also talk, all right? And knowing that for Sakura to get that kind of insider and everything, of course he's still going to have his doubts and still question, because again, he has been through the ringer so much, and now to have all of this good stuff happen to him, it's definitely going to make him question a lot of things and still have inner turmoil. Of course, now we're into the second arc of the series. So the Keel arc, we finished the Keel arc. Now we're slowly approaching the second arc of the series, which I am pretty much excited for. Okay, again, I did not watch the second season all that much. I had to stop at one point. So without further ado, let's get into Windbreaker Season 2, Episode 5. Oh, the tightrope. Okay. We saw this earlier in the season. I think even season 1. Yeah, this whole everybody from Fuden and even his past. Yeah. Feeling suffocated and being blamed for something that you never did. You can grow. Yeah. Not him with the protein. If this ain't Ryohei coded, oh my god. Now he's conflicted. Oh, the grip. The grip. Yeah, he's scared. He's very scared. He's scared. You're not weak and lame, bro. It's just like you didn't know any other way. The fact, oh, are you gonna jump? He's just really terrified right now. Really? What's the reason? Okay. They accept you for who you are. Not him sleeping. It's the trauma. It's the trauma of his past. Don't. You see, they see you for who you are. You see, those are some real friends right there, bro. I love this metaphor, bro. I love it. You see, you surrounded by everybody. You see, now it just makes me want to find the people in Sakura's past and just put belt that to like look what you did. You traumatized my son. Made him feel like he was gonna always be alone and have to like watch what he does or says before it probably may irritate somebody. Not him bossing around Sakura. I guess so. Hey, you know what, yo? Why y'all look like this? As nice as this is, this is actually pretty sad to see. Like, he's never been cared for once. No one ever asks for his opinion. No wonder he was so on guard. Oh my god. Now it makes me wanna hug this poor boy so much, bro. I mean, low key is. Facts. I mean, character needs to be in the back. You right? Yeah. Oh my god. I, that's not lame, bro. Oh my god. I mean, use one, bro. B. I can't stand bugs. Oh, I'm sorry. My boy's scared. You scared of the dark. You're not scared of ghosts. You're scared of the dark. My boy don't even close his eyes when he washes his head. Okay, so what's your fears, Hayato? Yeah, what's your weakness? He's not gonna open up about himself. Mm. Hayato, why you acting like that? You gonna make me cry. Don't you dare go in there. I'm sorry. Why his face is like that? Not him saying, I want to go in there and have fun. Facts. Okay. What is he doing? My boy's just always jotting down notes. Yeah, it's damn when the voice is so deep. I didn't expect his voice to be that deep. I'm sorry, I did not expect that. Okay. Yeah, like Sakura is not going to judge you. Like that was the right answer. God. Oh God. Oh, twins. Uryu. Oh, I can remember your name. Uryu. Y'all not gonna say nothing? Oh my gosh. He's not wearing. Yeah. Yo, Sakura, when it comes to hearing anything about like love or affection like that, oh my gosh. Oh my poor boy. Yeah. Yo, Sakura's just like so confused. So, as the title of the episode depicts, a place where I belong. Sakura found his home, bro. He did. This episode really showcased like, and I really like how they show metaphorically the rope, the tightrope that Sakura was walking on for so long, depicting of like, obviously we know he grew up having to be alone because people judged him for things outside of his own reach. And no one ever listened to him. They were so quick to shut him down. So he had to constantly read the room and micromanage everybody's opinions and emotions towards him. Hence why they would have him depicted as walking on a tightrope, so that by focusing on that rope and focusing on protecting himself, keeping himself in line, he won't fall to possibly a bottomless pit or jagged rocks, to hurt himself. And now that he's at Fuden, where people accept him regardless of how he is or who he is, it's just like it's I think a lot of us can be in Sakura's position. We all understand his position, simply because growing up, you probably never really got your voice heard, or you were pushed aside. People blame you for the simplest of things, and so you had to tippy toe around everyone around you, whether it be family, friends, workspace, or whatever the case. And so it's so heartwarming to see when you finally can find that person or persons that, despite your shortcomings, despite, what you've been through, if you've been through the ringer, they accept you. They not only accept the good, the bad, they accept the ugly, the lame, the not bravado part of you. They accept all of you. And to see that Sakura, he apologized, like, at least, you can admit. But again, it goes to where that inner turmoil that he experienced that led him to falling ill is so very real, because it's just like when you start to really reflect and know that, like, hey, I should have a space where I feel safe, because you don't want to be judged for things that you can't control. Unfortunately, many of us experience that on a daily basis. Probably some of you, as I'm speaking right now, are facing that. And I want this space to feel like food, where you are accepted, as long as where everybody's respectful and caring and kind towards each other. I want everyone to feel included. And what's so beautiful about that is that we have a character of Sabakuno, also known as Sabaki, who he obviously, somewhere I belong. Subaki, who dresses very effeminate. He uses terms that are more so used by young girls or young women and everything. And to see that he's in a space where he's allowed to be himself. Nobody in Fuden judges him. And I can't wait for next episode. It's going to be so beautiful in this sense, because these two, both Sakura and Tsubaki, is going to know what it's like best to be in a place of judgment and now be in a place where there's acceptance. And clearly from this episode, we can clearly tell Tsubaki loves Umamiya, probably most likely romantically and everything, and Umamiya accepts that. Now, are they going out? I don't know. I don't think so. Nothing alludes to them, but he accepts Tsubaki's feelings, and so hence why Tsubaki can act the way he acts, because it's just like there's no room for judgment. It's only room for open arms and acceptance, and to feel like you can be yourself without having to put on a veil or a mask to make everybody else feel comfortable about your presence. This episode was pretty deep. I'm not gonna lie, this episode is pretty deep. I like that it's not just only fighting, but it's also like a lot of the times we see the downtimes after the fights, the blows. Like, I think I spoke about this with my friend before. I mentioned him a few times, Carl, on this channel. And I remember we had a conversation not a few years back, probably a year or 2 or 3 ago. And I remember where, like, in a lot of series they show like hits for hits, blow for blows are forms of communication. And they said that in this series too, back in season 1, where it's just like when we exchange blows with each other, when we exchange fists, it's a form of communication. That's one way of communication. And then we need to actually verbally talk to each other, to explain our feelings and reasons on why we take these certain actions. These actions just don't spring up out of nowhere. They're there for a reason. And to see Sakura, who was, a lot of the times they compare him to a cat, right? If a cat feels unsafe, it's going to bare its fangs and its claws towards you and hiss at you and then possibly attack you because it feels unsafe. And then what happens when you have an animal, or a cat in this instance, that feels safe and loved and warm, and it's accepted? It's the most cuddliest thing you'll ever meet. Of course, it's still going to take Sakura time, because again, he's been living years of solitude, so, but having to be in a place, even Nire is another individual, right? I think a lot of us forget when it comes to Nire, but Nire was the kid that was bullied in school. People didn't really care for him, and to be in a place like Furin, where one, he's not a fighter, right? He's not a fighter. He's more of a strategist or informationalist, right? He gathers all the details and everything about everybody in town and all that stuff. And to find out, like, I'm accepted in a place that, one, people won't make fun of me because I'm not physically strong. I'm not the biggest individual. People accept me for my keen intellect and who I am as an individual, and trying to change for the better. And seeing Fuden, and I think this is the beautiful thing, Umamiya most likely was in that same position, hence why he built Fuden the way it is right now, and hence why they're in a town where people is just like, they're not gonna, of course you're gonna probably meet one or two people, right? You're gonna meet those regardless. At the end of the day, you're gonna meet those people in series like this, and in real life you're gonna meet those people that's just going to think oppositely of you. But again, you go to a place where you belong, go to where you're wanted, and seeing that Sakura throughout this journey, and we're going to continue to see that as the story goes on, where he's going to feel so comfortable and so loved by these people, different sets of people, different walks of life and everything. We're going to continuously see that, and we're going to see him continuously grow and get comfortable in that. And not only that, get stronger, not only stronger in the sense of physical combat, but stronger in character and in mind and in behavior. And so I can't wait to see when it comes to the next episode, when he and Tsubaki go on their little date, because someone who's probably been ridiculed and rejected understands best. Because I know it's going to be like, people are going to be like, oh, you're a guy and this is, they're going to say all these things. They're going to be homophobic. They're going to throw slurs and everything, but no. And if there's anyone who is like Tsubaki who watches my channel, you are also welcomed. Okay? You are very much welcomed. Anyone that's in the same position as Sakura, you are also welcome. Okay? As long as you're respectful, like I said, you're respectful, you're kind, you're courteous, and you're here to have a good time, have fun, chill and hang out for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever, you are welcome on this channel. If there's something you want to discuss, you are always free to come into my comment section, discuss it. If you want to personally DM me, you know to find my social media. It's in the comments below. Okay? We are not here for judgment. We are not. And I really love this stuff. I personally will have to say, right now, this is probably my favorite episode out the entirety of the 2 seasons so far. I really love this episode. This episode hits really deep on a emotional and psychological level. I really enjoyed this episode, for real. For real. For real. Despite the fights and everything, this has to be the best episode hands down so far. So guys, if you already saw episode 5 of Windbreaker season 2, of course, no spoilers, but do tell me in the comment section below of how you felt about this episode. If you already watched it before, what some things you notice now on your second, third, fourth, whatever, how many watches. Do drop in the comments below. If it's your first time watching like myself, how do you feel overall about this episode, and what are you looking forward to towards the next episode? The links are in the description box. You guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy-chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. With